Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Shaden.
I'm Yah.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, for being a part of our little family out in the middle of the jungle in the darkness of the morning because our dogs got us up really early this morning for some reason. They do that, and they are like the furry alarm clocks. And Jerry has it down to about 5:45 every morning. He just can't wait for everybody to get up because we're up 15 minutes later. We're up at 6, and so here we are, and we are hanging out with all of you guys, and we are what's going on? Anything going on, fellas?
No.
Surviving?
Yep.
Okay. Eli, you surviving?
Yep.
It's good to see you have your Bible this morning. I appreciate that. All right. Guys, this is Yah Scriptures. Yah Scriptures is the greatest English translation that you will have. There's free available downloads right next to it. They're all in the description below. You can get all of everything that we've produced and put online. It's completely free of charge. And there's also Amazon that you can grab all the short stories. Not really short stories, like Jasher is a huge story, but it's available for your library or for distribution to people that you would like to get to read certain books. And guys, these are available now. Pre-orders, they will be in. Printing has commenced, so it is. I believe it is. The first printing is happening very, very soon, within probably hours, maybe minutes. I don't know, but it is happening, and we will be getting these out in June. So, guys, that is all part of Yah Scriptures, and we are. Guys, where are we at right now? What's happening with this? In fact, let me go. Before we do that, I want to go over the calendar again. Real quick, this is a picture again of Yah Scriptures. And we are in month 2 of our Creator's calendar. We are on day 4 of his days. If you're on the Gregorian, you're on month 4, day 22. And I guess tomorrow night, according to this, is a full moon. So I guess keep your eyes peeled to the moons if you'd like to look to the moon. But if you're blowing your shofar and things like that on the new moon, I think that's biblical, but there's no Torah commands, right? I mean, we have it in Psalms, but we really don't have a command that says blow a shofar on a new moon. Anyone have anything to add to that?
No.
Are you guys good with the calendars? And anybody who wants to know why I'm blotting out all the stuff at the top, it's because I am specifically, and I hope my kids are as well, the old children are attempting to rewrite their vocabulary where we are not mentioning pagan names all the time.
That's a full moon, not a new moon.
Full moon. Oh, full moon, right. Okay. But have you been able to, nobody can tell me what a new moon is. I still don't know what a new moon is. Is it completely black? You got have these people say it's completely black. Yeah, one people say it's 1%. Some people say it's 3%. Some people say it's when the barley comes up. So
It's to be determined at this point.
yeah,
We'll never know. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of days, and so in the end of days, there's a lot of confusion. Okay, First Kings, MELAKIM, chapter 2. Gentlemen, what has happened to this point? Where are we at? And let's get to it.
Well, we knew about King David and his reign. We have 1st and 2nd Samuel. Growing up with David, and now he has old in years. His son tried taking over. One of his older sons tried taking over the kingdom. David told his prophet and his guys to go and anoint Solomon, his son, because he promised Solomon the reign. So Solomon has now become the king, and David is still alive at this point. And so David got to see his son become king before he died, and David is happy with Solomon being king.
Yeah, it seems to be a tumultuous family. Like you wouldn't. It's not a bonded family.
A lot of family issues, I think.
Yeah, it's a problem when you have a billion wives and
22.
Everybody is a kid. I mean, if you had one wife, I don't think this would be such a problem. But when you have a gazillion wives and a gazillion kids, everybody's fighting for the throne. So here we are. Okay. So, first one. And the days of David drew near to die, and he commanded Shalom his son, saying, I am going the way of all the earth, and you shall be strong and be a man. All right, what do you guys make of that right out of the gate?
He wants him to be strong.
And?
Be a man, he said.
Might as well just read it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Why do you suppose that this is the last commands of a soul? You know, David was the man's man, right?
I don't know. We do learn that Solomon doesn't like outside work. So.
Yeah, we know Solomon. Yeah, no. When you read Song of Songs, is it Song of Songs?
Yeah.
Where he cries, or is
one
it?
of them is
No, that's Lamentations.
Lamentations.
Everything sucks in the sun.
Yeah, everything is doing. Yeah, so Shlomo doesn't like to work, but anyway, and be a man. I find that very fascinating. That probably the manliest man that walked around in these times, David, leaves his kid with this, and these are the same things that I would leave you guys with, right? Be a man. Be strong. We live in a world of girly men. We live in a world of beta men, and there's a strength and there's a quality to just the old school being a man. And so here we are. And I never thought I'd have to say that, because I never thought manhood and womanhood would ever be
One and the same.
yeah, one in the same, or changed up, or and that's the way of this transgender movement, is to make it all. And when you study the occult and you look at the things like the Baphomet is the goat god of Satan, and it's half man, half woman. And it's just these people are freaks. They're complete freaks. Okay, 3. Continuing on with David, his last words, he's saying to Solomon. And again, these are incredibly important verses right here. And guard the charge of Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to guard his laws, his commands, his right rulings, and his witnesses, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe, so that you do wisely all that you do and wherever you turn. Okay, this is huge, right? And then there's a semicolon, and we're not even done with this whole part right here. But this is what the theme of the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel and all these channels is we are begging people to walk in the ways of Yahuwah, to guard his laws, statutes, and commandments, and his right rulings, all of this, right? And let's continue on in 4. Why? So that Yahuwah establishes his word. He spoke concerning me, saying, if your sons guard their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their being, saying, there is not to cease a man of yours on the throne of Yisrael. All right, guys, and we're also, the rain is beginning here, and we have a little tin roof.
Not the rain of David.
Yeah, not the rain of David. He's about to, the rain
of the earth.
Yes, the rain upon our tin roofs. Okay, 5. And also, you know what Joab, son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the 2 commanders of the armies of Yisrael, to Avner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether, that he slew them and shed the blood of battle in peace, and put the blood of battle on his belt that was round his waist, and on his sandals that were on his feet. So act according to your wisdom, and do not let his gray hair go down to the grave in peace.
Imagine Joab ended up hearing about this, and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, but Joab had to be like old. I mean, everybody had to be old at this point, right?
He was in David's camp for like a long time.
Yeah.
It's just weird. This is like his main man. He's like,
this dude has killed a lot of people.
You need to make sure he has a rough life now.
Yeah, and that's crazy that the final words are essentially to curse Joab, right? Is the final words of David.
No, we're not done cursing yet.
Yeah, it's not over. Okay, 7. But show kindness to the sons of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and let them be among those who eat at your table. For so they came to me when I fled from Absalom, your brother. And see, with you is Shimei, son of Gera, the Benjamite from Bakurim, who cursed me with a grievous cursing in the day when I went to Machanaim. But he came down to meet me at the Yarden, and I swore to him by Yahuwah, saying, I shall not put you to death with the sword. And now, do not leave him unpunished, for you are a wise man and know what you should do to him, and shall bring his gray hair down to the grave with blood. All right, so King David said essentially that, hey, I said I couldn't kill this guy with the sword.
I won't kill you.
Yeah, he's like, I shall not put you to death with a sword. And then he gives his son a wink, wink. Well, but you're a wise man, and you know what you should do to him, right? Right? So he's
Take
going
him out, boys.
Yeah, he's.
David didn't technically lie to me. He's like, I won't kill you.
Dave's out here putting hits on
But
people.
at the same time, Shlomo doesn't go and put a hit. He doesn't go kill him right here, right? Right. And so there's something when he says you are a wise man. There is something wise that Shlomo does here. Okay. 10. And David slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Yisrael was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. And Shlomo sat on the throne of his father David, and his family was firmly established. And Adoniyahu, son of Kaggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Shlomo, and she said, do you come in peace? And he said, peace. And he said, I have a word for you. And she said, speak. And he said, you know that the reign was mine, and all Israel had turned their faces toward me, that I should reign. But the reign has been turned around and has become my brother's, for it was his from Yahuwah. And now, I am making one request of you. Do not refuse me. And she said to him, say it. And he said, please speak to sovereign Shlomo, for he would not refuse you to give me Abishag, the Shumanite, as wife. And Bathsheba said, good, let me speak for you to the sovereign. All right, now, who is Abishag,
This
the Shumanite?
is the woman that kept David warm while he was sick and old.
Yeah, so do you think this woman would be like, have a special place in Israel? I mean, people would look up to her, right? Or people would like, she would be like an important person, or like, everybody know her.
I assume she's really well taken care of too.
Yeah, so what do we make of the kid wanting to take her for a wife? Why of all the women out in Israel, why would he want this particular woman?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was his dad's.
Do you think that by him marrying this woman that somehow he would gain some sort of more power or anything?
I don't think so.
You don't think the people would look at him like he has the wife or the maiden of David or anything? I don't know. Well, for some reason, this looks very evil in the eyes of Shlomo. Okay. And 19. And Bathsheba came to sovereign Shlomo to speak to him for Adoniyahu. And the sovereign rose up to meet her and bowed down to her and sat down on his throne and had a throne put up for the sovereign's mother. So she sat at his right hand. All right, what do you guys make of this? He had a throne put for his mother's sovereign. Are we talking a chair?
Yeah, a big chair.
A big chair, you think?
Yeah.
So he just had a big chair rolled out, put next to his, or is this something that is, what do you call a throne? I mean, are we all sitting on thrones? Are we all sitting on thrones right
I
here?
think this is a different. It's like big gold something, big old chair.
Okay, so he just had it brought in and mom sat down?
I don't think he just had it. I think it took a little bit to get built, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this incident, what we're talking about, she wants to speak. So all of a sudden, it says he had his throne and had a throne put for the sovereign's mother. So I mean, whatever it is.
I'm sure this took some time. I don't think this was immediately right after.
I bet there's like 15 dudes that all brought this ginormous rocker and rock reclining chair.
Big heavy chairs.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, when you are the king, you have infinite amount of help to do what you need immediately when you need help. So, 20. And she said, I'm making one small request of you. Do not refuse me. And the sovereign said to her, ask it, my mother, for I do not refuse you. Uh-oh. Is Shlomo about to break an oath? Then she said, let Abishag the Shumanite be given to Adoniyahu, your brother, as wife. And sovereign Shlomo answered and said to his mother, now, why do you ask Abishag the Shumanite for Adoniyahu? Ask for him the reign also, for he is my older brother, for him, and Abiathar the Kohen, and for Joab, son of Zeruiah. And sovereign Shlomo swore by Yahuwah, saying, Elohim does so to me, and more also, if Adoniyahu has not spoken this word against his own life. And now, as Yahuwah lives, who established me and put me on the throne of David my father, and who has made me a house, as he promised, Adoniyahu shall be put to death today. And sovereign Shlomo sent by the hand of Beniyahu, son of Yahuyoda, and he fell upon him, and he died. All right, we've talked about this. What do you think falling upon him means? Does it mean just stabbing him with a sword?
Yeah, I think.
Do you think the guy's doing like some Greco-style Roman wrestling, and he has him in a clinch?
Swinging swords and stuff.
Fell upon him, just slaughtering him?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you fell upon somebody, you're killing them. Okay, 26. Then the sovereign said to Abiathar the Kohen, go to Anathoth to your own fields, for you deserve death. But I do not put you to death at this time, because you bore the ark of the Adon Yahuwah before my father David, and because you were afflicted, and all my father was afflicted in. So Shlomo dismissed Abiathar from being Kohen to Yahuwah, to fill the word of Yahuwah, which he spoke concerning the house of Eli at Shiloh.
So you should die, but you know what? Leave.
Yeah. Because he was a priest. That didn't stop Shaul. Remember Shaul? He killed off all the priests.
Yeah, when he went and murdered them all.
Mm-hmm. And news came to Joab, for Joab had turned aside after Adoniah, though he did not turn aside after Absalom. And Joab fled to the tent of Yahuwah and took hold of the horns of the altar. And the report came to sovereign Shlomo that Joab had fled to the tent of Yahuwah, and see, he is by the altar. Then Shlomo sent Beniyahu, son of Yahuyoda, saying, go, fall on him. Okay, well, I guess that's the nice way of, like, kill him. Fall on him.
Hit him, boys.
Yep. So Benyahu came to the tent, and Benyahu he just killed the other guy too, right? Mm-hmm. So Benyahu is the assassin.
He's the new guy.
He's the new killer.
He's the new Yoav.
Yeah. So Benyahu came to the tent of Yahuwah and said to him, "Thus said the sovereign, come out." And he said, "No, for here I die." And Benyahu brought back word to the sovereign, saying, "Thus said Joab, and thus he answered me." And the sovereign said to him, "Do as he said, and fall upon him, and you shall bury him, so that you take away from me and from the house of my father the blood which Joab shed without cause." Now, do you guys remember the Torah verse about this? About if somebody's hanging on the altar of this, you kill them. Sorry, guys. 1 second. All right. So, do you guys remember that the command about that? Because it brings it up in the book of Josephus about this particular thing. Because it may seem odd that this guy's hanging on the altar horns and he's slaughtered there and his head's cut off.
Yeah, I didn't want bloodshed on this.
Actually, it talks about people hanging on, even if they're hanging on the horns of the altar, that you kill them at a certain thing. So that's more to come. So 32. Thus Yahuwah shall return his blood on his head, because he had fallen on 2 men more righteous and better than he, and slew them with the sword, while my father David did not know it. Abner, son of Ner, commander of the army of Yisrael, and Amasa, son of Yether, commander of the army of Yehuda. So shall their blood return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David and his seed, upon his house and his throne, there is to be peace forever from Yahuwah. Then Benyahu, son of Yahuda, went up and fell upon him, and put him to death, and he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. It's interesting. I thought that in the wilderness of his own house was interesting, right? Is this dude, I guess, lives in the wilderness?
Must.
Okay. Do we live in the wilderness out here in the jungle? Is it the kind of wilderness?
Kind of a wilderness.
Yes.
A little bit. Okay. All right, 35. And the sovereign put Benyahu, son of Yahuda, in his place over the army. And the sovereign put Zadok the Kohen in the place of Abiathar. And the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, "Build yourself a house in Jerusalem, and dwell there, and do not go out from there anywhere. And it shall be on the day you go out and pass over the Wadi Kidron, know for certain that you shall die. Your blood is on your own head." And Shimei said to the sovereign, "The word is good, and my master the sovereign has said, so your servant does." So Shimei dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to be at the end of 3 years that 2 slaves of Shimei fled to Achish, son of Maacah, sovereign of Gath. And they informed Shimei, saying, "See, your slaves are in Gath." And Shimei rose up and saddled his donkey and went to Achish at Gath to look for his slaves. And Shimei went and brought his slaves from Gath. This is an interesting, the whole slave thing, right? I mean, this is, people have been enslaving people from the beginning of time. There's always a thought, and people have it because of the movies in Hollywood, that the only people that were ever enslaved were black people. But that's not true, because ever since the very beginning, I mean, there's been white people enslaved. Every color of every nation has ended up in slavery at some point. So it's not just a black thing, and there's no good slavery, but it's everybody has been enslaved. And so I was just curious who his slaves were, right? He has a couple of slaves, and they obviously were revolting, and they obviously were not happy with this dude, and so they ran away. And somehow people knew that they were this dude's slaves. So whether or not this guy had tattooed his name on their face or something, I don't know what he did or whatever, how people knew whose slaves were whose back in the days, but somehow they figured it out. Okay, 41. And Shalom was told that Shimei had gone from Jerusalem to Gath and had come back. So the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, "Did I not make you swear by Yahuwah and warn you, saying, know for certain that on the day you leave to go anywhere, you shall certainly die? And you said to me, the word I have heard is good. And why have you not guarded the oath of Yahuwah and command that I gave you?" The sovereign also said to Shimei, "You shall know all the evil that your heart has known, that you did to my father David. And Yahuwah shall return your evil on your own head. But sovereign Shalom is Barak, and the throne of David is established before Yahuwah forever." So the sovereign ordered Benyahu, son of Yahuda, and he went out and fell on him, and he died. And the reign was established in the hand of Shalom.
Man, who's just some hitman for hire or something.
Well, it's like Joab, right? Any of the people that are in, it doesn't matter what faction of military, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. When you're in that kind of a thing, you're always out killing people. And if you are the leader of these commanders, then you are the trusted assassin. You're a trusted guy who, when the king orders a hit on somebody, you're going to go kill him. You're not going to let him go. So I suppose these people are necessary back in the days. I suppose, but I don't know. All right. Anyone else have anything?
No.
All right. Well, everybody, we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening in. Take care. We're out.
All right, shalom.